Good morning, student. Welcome to the first lecture of unit number 6, that is parallel organization and pipelining. In this unit, we are going to learn about what is pipelining and what are the different hazards of pipelining. Along with that, what is parallel processing, what is multi-processor, and what is superscaling operation. Okay, so these all things we are going to learn in this unit number 6. So first, we will start with the basic concept of pipelining. So initially, pipelining is simply the biggest reason why the processor is become so fast. Because the first computer that we used when we were a child and the computer we use today like iPads, iPhones and mobile phones that we used are becomes ridiculously fast. So what makes processor fast? There are various reasons. First one is that we can say that the first reason that makes the processor fast is the data bus. Okay, so it increase the size of the data bus. If we increase the size of the data bus, you get the data faster, and that makes the processor fast. Okay, but that has peaked out 25 years back when Pentium was released in 1993 with 64-bit data bus. Okay, and that's what we use today also. So that has peaked out 25 years back. So if data bus was the only reason, then from the time we born till now, the computers share one speed. So it's not the reason that data bus anymore. That concept is over because after 64-bit, next option will be 128-bit data bus, and that will be added so many lines. We know that if we say that it is a 64-bit data bus, that means there are 64 number of lines. Okay, if we say that it is 128-bit data bus, that means there are 128 number of lines in your data bus. So if we use another option like instead of 64-bit, if we use 128-bit data, 128-bit data bus, so that could we added so many lines, and that will become impossible to construct. Okay, so data bus is not the reasons to make the processor work faster. Okay, so today we need fast computer with the most compact computer, small one. Okay, so keeping that in mind, they keep the standard let's have 64-bit data bus. Okay, but data bus is forever. Anytime forever we have to use data bus. So there is another reason like increasing clock frequency. Okay, that means higher the clock frequency, faster the processor. What does clock do? Every clock pulse gives the trigger. Each clock pulse is a trigger to the processor to do something or to change a state from one state to another state. Okay, so if you increase the clock frequency, you just making the processor work faster. Okay, so initial processors launch with 3 megahertz 8085. Then there is a 6 megahertz 8086, 16 megahertz 888. Then 66 megahertz Pentium also from 1970 to 2000. After that we have after that it becomes a 16 1 gigahertz, and in 2004 it is 2.3 and 2.4 gigahertz also. So if clock frequency was the only reason that peaked out 14 years back, in spite of that processor still becoming faster. So it's not only these basic reasons, increasing the size of data bus and increasing the frequency of clock. So increasing the size of data bus and increasing the frequency of clock is not the reason to make your processor work faster. There are some another reasons why your processor is so fast. Okay, so there are other factors. The biggest contributor making a processor faster is what we are going to learn right now, that is the pipelining concept. Okay, so data bus and increasing the frequency of clock, these two are not the factors to make your processor work faster. The main factor that contribute to the performance of your processor is the pipelining concept. Okay, so first we will start with the two-stage pipeline concept. Okay, because that's why it is started in the word first processor to make faster. Okay, the word first processor use two-stage pipeline. Okay, So basically, what is meant by pipelining? Pipelining means overlapping different stages of an instruction. Okay, what is pipelining? Pipelining means overlapping different stages of an instruction. What are the different stages of instruction? There are basically three stages. First, we have to fetch instruction, decode instruction, execute instruction. Okay, basically there are three stages: fetch, decode, execute. Along with that, there are some more stages like fetch, decode, execute, write, store. Okay. So pipelining means overlapping the different stages of an instruction. Okay. Now suppose we compare two processors, since pipeline is here to make a processor faster. The best way to understand it, how does it make it faster? So we are giving here two processors like 8085 and 8086 processor. So let's consider this one is the 8085 and this one is the 8086 processor. Okay. With the same program. So this is how 8085 will do it. So this is a scale of time. This is a scale of time. So suppose we have a program of three instructions. Now there are three instructions, I1, I2, I3. Okay, so suppose we have a program of three instructions. What is program? Program is a set of instructions. Okay, and both 8085 and 8086 having same program. Only difference is that 8085 works with the traditional concept and 8086 works with the pipelining concept. Okay, so suppose we have a program of three instructions. Now, where are those three instructions will be stored? In the memory, because all programs are stored in memory. Now, the first thing 8085 will do is, first it will fetch the instruction. Okay, first 8085 processor will fetch the instruction. Now we know the procedure like fetch, decode, execute. Okay. So first of all, it will fetch the instruction from memory because programs and instructions both are stored in memory. So 8085 processor will fetch the instruction from memory. Once the instruction is fetched, it will take some time to decode it. Okay. Decoding hardly takes any time. Then it will execute the instruction. Okay, and now the instruction is over. So first we fetch the instruction, in between decoding is done, and then we execute the instruction. Now with the execution phase, we finish our instruction number 1. Okay. Now then it will be go ahead and fetch the next instruction. That means it will fetch instruction number 2. And then this process will continue. Then in between it will decode instruction number 2 and then execute instruction 2. Then it will fetch instruction number 3, in between decode instruction 3 and then execute instruction 3. So this is the graph of that. Okay. So first 8085 processor will fetch the first instruction, execute the first instruction. Of course, decoding has happened, but it takes very small time as compared to this two or whole picture. Okay, then 8085 will fetch second instruction and then execute second and so on. So 8085 required these many cycles. So to do three instructions, here we have three instructions. To do three instructions, how many steps we required? Number of instructions are 3. And how many stages are there? 2 stages, that is fetch and execute. So how many cycles are required to complete 3 instruction? 6 cycles. Okay. So that's how 8085 did it. So if you analyze that there is a concept of processor and memory. So to fetch an instruction from the memory, you need the buses. To fetch an instruction from the memory, you need address bus, data bus, control bus. Okay. So to fetch an instruction from the memory, you need the buses, correct? So you give the address, you give read signal, and instruction will come from memory through the data bus to the processor. Okay, so the instruction will fetch into the microprocessor through data bus. The point is you need a data bus. Okay, to fetch an instruction and data, you need a data bus. But once the instruction has been fetched into the processor, where does it executed? Does it executed in the data bus? No, it is executed in the processor. Okay, so in the microprocessor, your instruction will execute. So while the processor is executing an instruction, what are the buses doing? You fetch an instruction by using data bus. Once your instruction is fetched into the processor, processor will execute that instruction. But while executing that instruction, what processor is doing? What your bus is doing? Nothing. They are ideal. Okay. And that's what they realize. So instead, while we are executing the instruction, you use the buses to fetch an next instruction. Okay. So to fetch instruction, you need the buses. Execution, there are 2 points. First, to fetch an instruction, you need the buses. Then execution is happen inside the processor. While executing it, realizes the buses are free. While executing the instruction, your data bus, your address bus, and your control bus, all the buses are free. So why keep them free? Why not use them side by side to fetch the second instruction? Okay, this is the main concept behind the pipeline. Now it will fetch the second instruction. Okay, so first look here in 8086, first instruction 1 is fetch. After fetching, execution is done. While executing instruction 1, your buses are free. So instead of keeping them free, use these buses to fetch instruction 2. Okay. So when after executing first instruction? No. During the execution of first instruction, we have to fetch instruction 2. Okay. That means first fetch instruction 1. While executing instruction 1, side by side fetch instruction 2. This is instruction 1, instruction 2, and this is instruction 3. So execution is happening inside the processor and buses are used to fetch the second instruction. Okay, so what's the advantage? The moment it finishes executing the first instruction, it will immediately start executing the second. Once it finishes executing the first instruction, it will immediately start executing the second instruction. And while executing second instruction, it will fetch third instruction. And once it finishes the executing second instruction, it will start executing instruction 3. And so on. Okay. So the processor of taking 3 instruction will take this much of time in 8085. It will take 6 cycles, 6 clock cycles to execute 3 instructions. And in 8086, practically taking half of the time by doing the concept of pipelining. So here you need to increase the size of data bus? No. Increasing the clock frequency? No. Just using the resources in a smarter way, fetching is happening using the buses. And once the instruction is fetched, do execution inside the processor. When buses are free, side by side, use them to fetch another instruction. So how does normal processor works? Fetch, and execute. How 8086 works? 8086 is no longer wasting any time in fetching and executing. Is fetching happening? How cannot happen? Fetching is compulsory. So, but it happening alongside the execution, adding to the time of the system. Okay. So now, such type of execution, like this is 8086, such type of execution is called as two-stage pipeline. Why it is called as two-stage pipeline? Because we are taking two main phases of an instruction, like fetch and execution. As we are taking only two main phases of an instruction, execute and fetch, and we are overlapping them. Okay, that's why it is called as two-stage pipeline. If we are taking three main phases of an instruction, that time it is called as three-stage pipelining likewise. Okay, so the another way to look at it, 8085 works on one instruction at any given time. First 8085 first finishes a single instruction, then it will start working on another instruction. Okay, but 8086 at any given time works on two instructions. One instruction is being executed, side by side, another instruction is being fetched. Okay, look here. First 8086 processor fetch instruction 1 into the processor. While executing instruction 1, your buses are free and side by side you are fetching instruction 2. Okay, once the execution of instruction 1 is complete, it will start executing instruction 2. And while executing instruction 2, side by side your buses are free and you will fetch instruction 3. And once the execution of instruction 2 finishes, you will start executing instruction number 3. Okay, so what is pipelining? Pipelining means fetching the next instruction while executing the current instruction. That means fetching the instruction 2 while executing instruction 1. Okay, after that, there is a concept of three-stage pipeline. So at that time, they can realize we can make it even better. Instead of overlapping 2 stages, let's overlap 3 stages. So make it three-stage pipeline. So what is the three-stage pipeline? Divide the whole processor into 3 independent units. First unit will be responsible for fetching instruction which is stored in a memory. Another unit will be responsible for decoding an instruction and one will be responsible for executing an instruction. Now here we are going to done decoding separately. In 8085, that means in two-stage pipelining, your decoding is happening in between fetch and execution. Okay, but in three-stage pipelining, we are doing decoding separately. That means here we are dividing the whole process into 3 stages. First one is fetch, second one is decode, and third one is execute. Okay, so first one instruction will be fetch. While it is being decoded, second will be fetch. So first is being executed, second is being decoded, and third is being fetched. That means it works on the 3 instruction. Look here. Suppose we are fetching instruction 1, then decoding instruction 1. While it is being decoded, your buses are free, fetch instruction number 2. Okay, so your second will be fetch. While fetching second, you are executing instruction 1. While executing instruction 1, decoding of instruction 2 will be done side by side. While decoding instruction number 2, you will fetch instruction 3. While fetching instruction 3, decoding execution of instruction 2 will be done. Okay, while executing instruction 2, side by side you will decode instruction number 3. While decoding instruction number 3, you will fetch instruction number 4. While fetching it, you will done with the execution of instruction number 3. Okay, you are getting my point? Pipelining means overlapping of phases of an instruction. Okay. So it works on 3 instructions at a time, like fetch, decode, execute. It works on 3 instructions at a time while decoding instruction 1, fetching instruction 2, while decoding instruction 2, fetching instruction number 3. So if you compare that with the normal processor, Normal processor will do fetch, decode, execute. And likewise 8888, that means 4 times 8 processor will do fetch, decode, execute. That means now it has three-stage pipeline, okay, which is required for fetching as well as time required for decoding, because both are happening alongside. Then there is a concept of four-stage pipelining and a five-stage pipelining. So there are numerous net buses. Pentium 4 architecture Pentium 4 architecture was the 20-stage pipeline processor. So this is what making processor faster using resources in a smarter way. So what is pipelining? Pipelining means just by using the resources in a smarter way, you can make your processor work faster. Okay. So next concept is that four-stage pipeline concept. So fetch, decode, execute, and write. When you execute an instruction, you have done some operations. Since you done some operations, you have a result. And the result has to be stored somewhere. Result has to be write somewhere. So execution is done by the arithmetic and logic unit. But results are not stored inside arithmetic and logic unit, because results will be stored into some registers, or results will be stored in somewhere in the memory. So you understand fetch, decode, execute, and write the result are four completely independent operations, and they can be done in an overlap form in the pipelining concept. Okay, so compare non-pipeline with the four-stage pipeline processor. So what happened in non-pipeline? In non-pipeline, this is your time scale. In non-pipeline, first you will fetch instruction, then execute, fetch, decode, then execute, and then write. So let's say this is instruction 1. Then again fetch, decode, execute, and write. This is instruction 2. Okay, likewise, we are having 4 instructions. So this is how non-pipeline processor works. It will first fetch instruction 1, decode instruction 1, then execute, and then write. Then it will go on instruction number 2, then it will fetch that instruction, decode, execute, and write, so on. Okay, so first fetch, then decode, execute, and write. And then second instruction, fetch, decode, execute, and write. So there are 4 stages. Okay, and these are the 4 instructions. So K means number of stages. Okay, K means number of stages, and N is the number of instructions. Okay, so what is your total cycle? How to find out total cycle? Your total cycle will be K into K into N. Okay, so how many number of stages there? As it is 4-stage pipelining, there are 4 stages. And how many instructions are there? There are 4 instructions. Okay, so what are the total cycles? Total cycles are 16. Okay, so how does 4-stage pipeline make it better? First instruction being fetch, while it is being decoded, second is fetch. Look here. In 4-stage pipelining, this is normal execution. Now in pipelining, first instruction being fetch, while decoding, first instruction fetch, second instruction. Okay, now first is executed, second is decoded. Now while decoding second, fetch instruction 3. Now second is executed, third is decoded, and fourth one is fetch. Now while writing instruction 1, second will be executed. While writing instruction 2, third will be executed. And while writing instruction 3, fourth will be executed likewise. Okay, so to put it simply, the first instruction will require full time. Full time means how many cycles? 4 cycles. Your first instruction will require all 4 cycles. Okay, that means fetch, decode, execute, and write. Because we are talking about 4-stage pipeline. That means your K is equals to number of stages. So there are 4 stages. So that means first instruction will require 4 cycles. Thereafter, every subsequent instruction will go on adding only 1 extra cycle. Okay, so do you understand? Because once first instruction be completed, that will be simply normal processor fetch, decode, execute, and write. Then again fetch, decode, execute, and write. So this processor doing fetch, decode, execute, write, and then write. So this pipelining processor is doing fetch, decode, execute, write, and after that it is only writing another instruction. But these remaining remaining phases are we are doing side by side. Okay, we are not doing these 3 stages separately. So the first instruction will require all the 4 phases, that means fetch, decode, execute, and write. But after that, we are only writing the remaining instructions. Okay, so everything has been done in a pipeline. So once the first instruction is being completed, every instruction will add one more extra cycle. That means the writing step in the chain. Okay, so first instruction will take full cycle. So thereafter every instruction will be add 1 cycle. So how many cycles are there? There are total 4 cycles. Okay, so now one instruction has been completed. That means instruction 1 has been completed. So how many instructions are remain? There are 4 instructions. Now first instruction is completed. So how many instructions are remain? 4 minus 1. That means 3. This is n. 4 means n. 4 minus 1 means this is n minus 1. Okay. So K is the number of stages. So now for the pipelining, this is K, total cycle is equals to K into N. This formula is for the normal execution of processor, but for pipelining, the formula is like this, K plus N minus 1. Okay, K means number of stages. So first instruction will be required all 4 cycles like fetch, decode, execute, and write. Thereafter, every instruction is adding 1 cycle. Okay, so it should be K plus N because we are adding only 1 cycle. So that's why it is K plus N. But because first instruction is completed, that's why it is N minus 1. Okay, so K plus N, and as first instruction is completed, that's why here we are writing minus 1. Okay, so how number of stages are 4. Number of instructions are 4, but first instruction is completed, that's why it is minus 1. So what is the total cycle here? 7. So there are total cycle in normal execution is 16 and total cycles in pipelining is 7. So compare it with the non-pipeline. So this is called speed up of pipelining concept. Okay. 16 cycles had come down to 7 cycles. So do you understood this concept? What is two-stage pipelining and four-stage pipeline?